Good morning. Good morning. Hello, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good.
Hello.
How are you? Happy
Oh,
Tuesday. We
happy Tuesday.
we took
Absolutely.
we took a day. We took a day rest yesterday. We had a long weekend.
It's been tough. Absolutely.
Are,
It's been.
are you when is it a long weekend, or is it just the Wednesday this week that is the holiday, or are people taking a weekend, like a 3-day weekend last weekend, or a 3-day weekend next weekend? Like
I think maybe people took the whole week off. That's what I would have
even
done.
better. I like that.
That's the great thing about there being a holiday right in the middle of things. I
Yeah.
think that's what I would have done, right? Did I share
If it
this?
is possible, I guess it would be nice. I don't know
Yes.
how possible it is. I think everybody's just sort of
Story.
happy to be back to work for those that are back to work and you know, doing their
Share
thing.
the story. Okay. Did I share it to my page? All these things, making sure check, 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 and click, 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 and
Yep, just
all this
I
greatness.
don't
Oh,
know how
there we are.
people other people do it, and
They have people behind the scenes, I bet.
oh, that's what it is. We're hands on.
Hang on. There we go. Okay, let
Yeah.
me and start and go. Yes. So, oh my gosh, I never even realized that our last session. Ooh,
What? Are you still there?
there we go. Yeah, I just, it's confusing when you hear yourself.
Yeah,
I honestly didn't even realize that we had done 50 episodes already because
I
it
know.
it flies by so quickly,
I
right?
know, yeah. And I think we were pretty consistent. We were at least 5 days a week most of the time. I think there was only 1 or 2 days that we missed. Like yesterday we missed, but you were recouping from your getting home and setting things up. But plus you had a full clinic
I
day
had a clinic,
yesterday.
yeah. It was a
So
clinic day, so it was a little
um
crazy and I know people don't like me talking while I'm driving.
yeah,
Something wrong with,
people
yeah.
like me. I'm
But I'm just talking and driving.
Dana.
Anyways, all good, all good. And then our Life is a Miracle workshop ended, you know, which I will miss. And
Well, yeah,
good
I
morning,
will miss it
Michelle.
too, for sure.
Yeah.
It's it was something that was quite one of those things that ramped up in the middle, and then it was amazing and I loved it, and then at the end we were just like, we want
I know,
more.
I know, I know. We want more. And it was just like I missed a couple sessions. I didn't do my homework and I was like, oh,
Well, you can still do
I can
your
still do
home.
my homework
uh,
and I'll
the
copy and
future
paste
casting
yours.
was interesting, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's hard to talk in future tense, right? As it
It is a little
as
bit.
though you have our uh your goals have been reached and this is how you talk and this is so I will probably do that at some point and get that done, but it's a lot of stuff. And then it's interesting how um what our what we thought was successful and what we thought was successful and what she felt was successful for Dawn, right? Because
Oh yeah.
we have been just doing this and then trying to get our online content and doing workshops and doing all this
Oh
stuff and and then she has accomplished business
wow.
planned and grants and funding and for growth and looking for a business location, and she's just on fire. And then she's like, no, you guys have been online every day, you've been hosting workshops, you've been doing this and that. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I guess. But it's interesting.
Yeah. It was, yeah, it was an interesting perception, and it, I think, does come down to perception for a lot of times for a lot of people. I mean, we have our own ideas about certain things, obviously, even separately, we we don't think the same, obviously,
Mhm.
but it's yeah, it's really perception is weird. I had a bit of an incident the other day where um, I was perceiving a conversation a certain way, not, not in a bad way or anything else, but I was just kind of, oh, well, it's kind of getting my back up a little bit. the person that I was talking to was saying, well, I don't see it. I'm not doing that. That's not my intention. And I was just like, oh, okay, okay. It's just really a matter of perception. It's really, um, sometimes we just have to stop and like in that kind of situation, you step back and you go, okay, well, this is how I see it, but doesn't
Hmm.
necessarily mean how everybody else sees it. And
Right.
taking that into consideration that, for argumentative purposes or whatever, it's just, yeah, and we can't help how other people think either. So, I mean, in the case of Don Condon, we're just like, holy crap,
Yeah, I know.
she's doing amazing things. And, and from her perception, she's probably going, the same thing for us, but we don't see it. It's, it's different.
And that's
Perception's
the thing
different.
too, even with Darlene. So, she has had such great opportunity, even though she ran a very small workshop, which may not be what she wanted, but it was so incredible. And I'll recommend her again, that's for sure. Um, and then it is her wedding officiant,
Oh, yeah.
and then how she perceived a conversation.
Yes.
Right? And look how it came about. She just had to dig deeper, breathe, and then dig deeper into the conversation. And then it worked out to be fantastic. Like this will be a good partnership, right?
Yes.
And she
Yeah.
already has
Yeah.
bookings and as we may think, oh my gosh, there must be tons of people to marry people, right? And there's really not. And it's a matter of perception. Not perception, it's a matter of how people feel. And it's the same way in the health coaching. How do you feel with that person? Do you feel that you've connected? And that's sort of
Yeah.
how we chose our person who married us, right?
Hmm.
It was a character. It was how we felt with them, and so yeah.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's good. So yeah, I was so sorry that I didn't even realize that we had 50 episodes. I feel like I'm just out to lunch lately, but
It's the way it is. We've been, yeah. I've been working hard. You've been working hard, and it's the way
oh,
it
Wendy,
is.
you've been doing incredible. You've got your Broken to Breakthrough program up and running. You have your summer cleanse, which super excited about. Um, and I've been talking about that with a few other friends. The just beautiful work, really, that you've been able to put through, even though you need to get outside more, but that's because it's business. And then for myself, I was on a roll, and then business happens, so I'm really going to have to work on my boundaries and time scheduling and doing those things, as many of us do. As many of us are now have head back to work, and we have our groups that we joined online, or books that we followed, or courses that we've taken, and it's like, oh my gosh, how am I going to fit that all in? So
Yeah, yeah,
I think
it's
some of
hard.
the out of the 50 episodes, I think the honestly, to me, the best episodes have been talking aimlessly about nothing and laughing and then really digging deep, or crying, or and not, we didn't get too controversial because that's not what we had wanted to do, because we sure could have.
I think we skirted the situation a couple of times. We played around with that. Didn't get much response, either good or bad, from it. So we're like, okay, nobody wants to talk about it. That's fine. I think we did a little bit, but
Just a little bit, but it's
yeah.
good. That's good. No, I loved it. I thought it was a great opportunity. Like the talks were a great opportunity to really kind of help me define what I'm doing and define what I am up to and how this works and what am I really doing in this world. So yeah, I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were just saying this because we were deciding on whether to take a bit of a break for the summer and allow, sorry, a bit of a break for the summer and be able to just enjoy, leave this page, some focus time with family and some focus time for ourselves for rejuvenation,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And that's not to say, oh, this is Michelle. Michelle's like, good morning, ladies. Perception is everything. Michelle Laroy is a great
Hey, Michelle.
lady. And she also says here, we often see things that we are not always. as the way actually things are. So
Almost
true.
definitely. Yeah.
And then she says, you are both so skilled and having such great expertise and passion for what we do. Thank you very much, Michelle. That's very amazing.
Kind
So
words.
we have fun, and you got to have fun in life, and you have to dig in deep. And we should have actually had Michelle on one of our talks.
I think well, last time we were talking to Michelle, we were thinking about setting something up for the fall, but
Oh, I know, but that dang COVID, right?
might
So,
happen. Yeah. We'll see. Stay hopeful. You have to stay hopeful.
yes. And it's amazing um, how we just think we're talking aimlessly about nothing, right? Chit chat, chit chat, but how some people may feel that we can really connect and offer insight or maybe hope for people, right?
Hope. Yes. That's
Hope.
the day. I think that's going to be the word for. I think it's
Oh,
a lot of the
Michelle
word for
says,
the last three months, and for the next couple of months as well. It's going to be one of those words that I just.
yeah, yep, that we're just working on.
Yep.
Michelle just wrote divine timing, and that's funny, yes, because it all was divine timing in how we all met,
Mhm.
and the course that we are on, and the way that God is leading us into different, or Spirit is leading us into our next chapter of life, and that we are all becoming the wise divine women that we are meant to be. Big
So
plug. No.
beautiful. Wine design, breathtaking women that we are.
Yes, yes, yes. Wise, divine, breathtaking, broken to breathtaking women that we are.
Yeah.
But no, so it's just phenomenal. I think honestly, everything is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that we've really dug in and have done this. And I know that some people catch us. I know like Brenda catches us a few times, and then she's in between work and sitting at the desk and doing her thing. And we may have to change the time, right? Because 8 o'clock is that time you're driving to work to be there for
Yeah.
9, or you're getting there for 8:30. So it's kind of like, oh, so some people catch us and then they just sit there and laugh at us because we just talk about the silliest
This is
things.
our nonsense. But that's what we do. I mean,
That's what we do.
we basically talk nonsense when we get together. And
Love
that's
it or
kind of
leave
what
it.
the whole premise of what getting together and doing this was. I mean, yeah, sure, we can talk about our business and talk about shop and everything else, and discuss hormones and stress and feeling crappy. But I mean, we also talk silly things too, because that's what we do.
Well, I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
But that's okay. That's what life is supposed to be about. You can't you got to make, you know, how does that work? You make a lemonade out of the lemons you're given, right?
Yeah.
So,
Most definitely. Most
but
definitely.
no, it's beautiful. It's and even I think now I have a greater respect for even my 5-day hormone detox. I might just jump into that again. Although, I don't, how do you feel about legumes?
I'm okay with them. I'm learning about them. Canned ones are very handy. They don't
Yes.
take any time to cook and they don't taste like anything. And they're so good for you.
Yes, I know, right? And it's, I don't know, some of the research that I'm reading about, you kind of in both ways, right? The legumes or the grains have such a impact on brain health, gut health. And then you, on the other hand, it's so good for hormone health.
Hmm.
It's so hard to
So that's
manage your
two
way
good
through
things.
things. Yeah, two good things. No, no, legumes and grains have a difficulty with brain health and gut
Oh,
health.
difficulty. Oh, I thought you said good.
Difficulty, right? Some people can't process them, so you get grain brain wheat belly, right? And that whole Alzheimer's,
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
right? And then you have the other hand where you have like, oh, they are so good for hormone health and for proteins, all those different things. So it's, and that might be where I'm digging through again and kind of going through that information of understanding, okay, why wouldn't this be? And this is why it's so important to understand people individually,
Yeah.
right? Understand people individually, where they are, what they've done, and how they respond to things. And journaling is so important because for some people, their body may not be able to process lentils and seeds and grains, right? So then they get the brain fog, the extra brain fog, or the really crazy belly that they can't get rid of. And
Hmm.
that's where that it may be gluten, it may not be gluten. But, and then the other hand, the hormone imbalance or lowering cholesterols or those types of things, adding that extra fiber is so important. And it's so unique to each person,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is. I mean, and that's the whole thing, because I mean, how many years now we've been doing this, and there's so many different nutritionists and people out there, and people wanting to get into the business as well. And it's really just research after research after research, and trying to get that wonderful little formula. I often talk about that magic elixir that I found, that really, is seemingly the answer. But at the same time, you really have to bring it down to that individual person. Keto is a wonderful way to lose weight, but it's not a long-term situation for a lot of people. Like a handful of people, it works perfectly. Paleo is another big one for, especially when you're talking about gut issues and gluten intolerance and different things like this. Paleo is an amazing product. I mean, you can go on it for a while and get some amazing situations, but then it might not work for you for long term either.
hmm
Um,
hmm hmm
all these different things. Everybody's a little bit different. You could have the best diet ever, eating all the things that you want, and yet have some sort of metabolic situation going on, or genetic predisposition for improper methylation pathways or something along that lines, and it
yeah,
could really
we were
speed
just talking
everything
about
back
that
up.
too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is really so individualism, and it's really, when you're really trying to, perhaps eat healthy, get healthy, lose weight, get on this path to really being, it can be very much a hard struggle. And even I myself am finding it very difficult, because I don't eat terrible. I
Mhm.
work a little bit too much, and I don't get out and have that balance. But there's like, what's going on with my body? I need to maybe get that extra testing to figure out, maybe I have a disposition for, some genetic craziness going on there, that's, not making things work properly for me. So I'm
Well,
not quite sure.
and that's right. That's when we went through that
Mhm.
sort of list of what companies do have DNA tests, and then what to do with that information, right? And
And I
it's not
think that's probably the future of
well,
nutrition, is that
and
DNA
I've
population.
talked about that before, right? Like I've did mine with Euphoria, and it just helps you recognize where there's changeable opportunities in understanding your DNA.
Yeah.
So I didn't like how it didn't dig deeper, but
Mm.
then I didn't pay that big $400 price. So maybe down the road. The but understanding how to come at things
Yeah.
sideways, right?
I'm a very individualized person,
Right,
or
exactly.
personalized
Because
situation.
some people may not, they're very low and deficient in vitamin D,
Yeah.
and that's just part of their genetic makeup. So, what else do they need to support that and understand that, right?
Yeah.
To allow it to metabolize better and be usable for the body.
Yeah.
Same as glutathione, right? Glutathione's my shit. So it's like, how, and I got to keep sort of adding that perspective. And even yesterday, learning more about that glutathione and what other nutrients are supposed to be in place when you're taking it.
Hmm.
And interesting, even again this morning, understanding, and maybe I'm missing something key in taking iodine, right? And in taking iodine, it's important to be taking vitamin C with it.
See, I didn't know that one. I knew the one about iron.
See?
Iron is better absorbed
No.
with vitamin C, but also iodine as well.
Yes,
Oh,
iodine as well. So I've just been reading about it and reading about different detoxification and how important iodine in, and that was with Dr. Pompa. And I'll read more about it or find other articles about it as well, because we just can't take things from one source.
yeah.
Um, but it's amazing to see how there are key things that we miss
Hmm.
in that whole support of things, right?
I mean,
To make things metabolize better. And then, yes, we're supposed to be getting it from our food, and that's why it's important. Again, with something like Juice Plus, you're kind of all covered.
yeah.
You're covered in that selenium, you're covered in mineral, you're covered in vitamin C, vitamin B and D, those things that are in there to help you, the nutraceutical aspect of things, or the uh, oh my gosh,
Phyto,
what's the word I'm looking for?
phytochemicals.
What is it?
Phytochemicals.
Phytochemicals to allow that absorption and allow that process to happen
Yeah, it's the
better.
synergistic effect of the
Right.
whole food itself. It's you know, when you eat an apple, you're getting the right amount of sugar, the right amount of fiber, the right amount of pectin, the right amount of all these things that are in the apple to work together to be able to absorb properly in your body. It's a miracle. I mean, we're
Hmm.
talking about miracles. This is a miracle. The way foods are meant to be taken in the body and absorb and you know and be able to absorb properly in the body.
Absolutely. Right.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, there is a basic thing right now that I find that a lot of people, everybody is, it's an epidemic form. I'm not talking like COVID or anything like that. It's stress. And stress a lot of times is that underlying situation where so many people are so imbalanced that just fixing that would have a big effect on their lives. Not genetics besides, that's further down the road when things are not working properly and you don't know why. But coming down to eating, like bringing in that whole foods, but also looking at that stress, and actually being the workaholic that I am, I actually put together a full booklet the other night just on a checklist on stress, which I'm going to put the link in the comments, when we're done this, just so that you guys can pick it up and see exactly where your stress levels are and how it's affecting you through the different hormones in your body. So it's with the cortisol and the adrenaline and nor, I can't say the other one, nor the other ones anyways. That you just give yourself an idea of how stressed you are at this point, and then it gives you some opportunities for what foods you should take in as well. So I'll put that link in the side there. So just it's just a fun way to, not well a fun, it's an easy way to figure out, is it stress, is it just me, like what's going on in my life right now, and a few ways to help you through that a little bit.
Hmm.
People get freaked out when they talk about detox, and they get freaked out when I say meditation, and they get freaked out and they kind of roll their eyes, and
Oh my
journaling.
gosh.
I think those are the
With
big things.
meditation, I say prayer, and
Yeah.
they're like, oh, okay.
Meditation, uh, detox, and journaling. Those are the three things that I get the big eye roll. And it's just like, okay, but these things work, people. And it doesn't have to be a detox where you're running to the bathroom and you've got this headache that won't stop and everything else. Detoxes and cleanses are really can be very gentle. And for somebody that's never done a detox before, it's not like you're going on a 21-day water fast, which I was researching the other day, and it's so amazing. But at the same time, it scares the heck out of me as well, too.
You have to be, yeah, you have to, you just can't do that. You have
No,
to jump
no,
into it.
no.
You have to build up your resilience, and then you have to, like in a religious sense or in a spiritual sense, you have to ensure that that's what you're being asked to do. Is God asking you to do that? And what is your reason for it? It
Mm-hmm.
just can't be, oh, I'm going to go on a water fast just because I'm going to lose weight. No, then you will not succeed at it. It'll be,
No, no, yeah, you really have to figure out what is, and when you're going into a whole foods cleanse is very safe. It's very something that you can really do on your own.
mhm.
But when I offer my cleanse to people, I mean, they always have access to me. But when you start talking about intermittent fasting, a lot of people don't understand that too much. So they just go ahead and do their own thing. You're kind of playing a little bit when you start going into a 24-hour, 3-day, 5-day, 7-day, 21-day water cleanse or master cleanse or stuff like that. You really have to seek out professional
Well, have someone
supervision.
following so that you can have accountability and that you're checking in and that your side effects aren't are expected or they
Yeah.
signaling something's going wrong, right? So it's having
Oh,
that check and that accountability.
yeah.
And it's maybe not for summer because, well, it would be very difficult for me. With the
Well,
people
yeah, the
with the
thing
people I
is,
hang out with, I'd have to go away. So,
well, yeah,
and not,
you have to have
yeah,
the support around you. You have to
yeah.
have the people. Yeah, it's not easy. And you know, when people talk about like this 21-day water fast or whatever, it's done in clinic basically, and it's done
Hmm.
for medical reasons. And you know, there's I was just watching a documentary on it the other day, so this is why it's kind of in the forefront of my mind. But something, and that's why that kind of stuff scares people, and they think, oh
Hmm.
my god. But something like a 14-day elimination diet, whole foods cleanse is not that scary, really.
Well,
I mean,
exactly, exactly.
if you have, you know,
Add the water
coffee,
documentary to the link, right? Coffee.
yes,
What are you
well,
talking
it's
about?
on Gaia,
Oh,
which
is it? Okay.
yeah, so that's a website that you has all these kind of different uh,
Shows.
documentaries and yoga and different things like that. So you just get a
Propaganda.
membership thing. Propaganda. Oh, there's a lot of God stuff on there too. But anyways, yeah. So yeah,
Ah.
oh, I just oh, I'm stressed. I have to admit, I am stressed. My not stressed like I'm pulling my hair out stressed, but stressed to the point where my body's starting to go, Wendy,
I said
gotta
that
stop.
already, but I recognize that in you. You need to set boundaries. This is your job. This is your vitality. This is your life. You need to work 9 to 5. You need to work 9 for 4. You need to go for an hour lunch. If you were being corporate, if you were corporate, that would be your job,
Mm,
right? And
yeah.
if you can't, you know, and I need to do the same thing as well. And you need to set time aside for family. And or if you're taking time out in the evening, then you're making sure you have time before that with family. Or you got to write it on a big wipe off board saying what times you have meetings and when family time is. And
Yeah.
then you schedule sex time too. That's really should be really important. So the
Yeah.
just
I
gonna
don't
throw
know
that
about
out there.
that.
Just gonna throw that out there for everybody. Schedule it. Then you'll get the eye rolls.
Oh, what is that? Oh, don't worry about it, honey.
Talking about. Are you in or you out? It's a team sport. Let's go. The
Go play your game, son.
kids,
Go away.
off you go. That's why they created noise reducing headsets
For
and
kids.
and the noise reducing these. They don't pick up anything other than your voice and you
Yeah.
don't hear anything at all.
For
There
those
was a
snap
commercial.
afternoons.
There was a commercial for that, wasn't there? There was that
Yes,
here's
yes, for Solaris or something. Yeah.
turn it up loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so
Turning the
funny.
music up. Yeah. That's another that
I was still finishing my my Goddesses Never Age book by Christine Northrup. Gosh, I just love her. She's just fantastic. I just love how she just talks about things so openly. And she does. So, of course, I left yesterday on the note of the sex as a older person, like 50
yeah.
plus, which isn't really old. So I
Yeah,
was
50
offended.
plus.
Yeah,
That's
50
old.
plus. What? The and then I'm listening to people who are like, she's like, well, most people on average have their midlife crisis about 42. 42? That's, you're still in
Midlife.
chaos at that time. There's no teenagers. You're not even old yet. But I guess,
Yeah.
I
For all these
guess.
people that are having these babies late in life, that's just the beginning.
Oh, they're still in
32?
toddler years.
Oh, toddlers. Yeah. I don't know. Nice, 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 nice. You know,
But yeah, so she left it off at that and yeah, make noise and send the kids out of the house or don't worry about the neighbors or anyways. So it's funny. Those are all affirmations that you have to prepare for your husband or spouse, right? Or your partner. They're
uh,
affirmations.
affirmations. Yeah. Well,
Affirmations. So
big red on the calendar it used to be for when you're supposed to get your period. Now it's just for special afternoon delight.
snaps. We call those snaps. Snap time. Snap time. And anyone who went to
One
Jamaica
thing we
with
haven't
us,
really talked about on this is sex, huh?
oh well,
Actually,
there we
we
go.
did, and I got a comment
You
one
did.
time. Yeah, one day I think you started off the conversation with talk about sex, baby. You know that song from the 80s or
Yeah,
whatever?
yeah, yeah.
And we got a comment, you guys don't know what you're talking about. You're not very educational. And something about sex, and then left it. I was like, okay, see you later.
Well,
It's
what do
up.
you want us to talk about?
Didn't like it. That's okay.
I actually was able to find a Christian sex educator out of the States. So I'm setting up a podcast with her. She has a couple of books.
Wow.
And I listened to a couple of her podcasts and they were fantastic. They were really fantastic. I was like, excellent. I will use her as a resource.
Nice.
So, yes, we're not claiming to be anything, and I'm not claiming to learn or know Tantra. I know people who teach Tantra, and I know people who discuss and do counseling for Christian marriages and Christian people, and talking about that aspect, right? Because it's not just about the do's and don'ts. And then you have people who don't care and they're very frivolous, and that's where you talk to Amber or someone who is a sex health educator, right? And so it's always very interesting.
Okay, so have you got a lot of people watching your playlist, your watch list right now? I
What do you
just
mean?
I wanted to put out a question to the people that are watching, and people that are watching the replay as well. Dana and I went into this conversation this morning thinking that we would put this on hiatus and for till September. I know this is something that my brain is shifting a little bit now, and I'm thinking that if you guys want us to continue through the summer, maybe this is something that we can continue. And if you're just let us know in the comments if this is something that you want us to continue through the summer. I don't know. When I was thinking about it this morning, I was very tired and I didn't sleep well last night. Maybe that was just my mood that I was in. So I don't know. And Dana was like, I don't know. This is a good thing. So I don't know. You're gonna have to, guys, let us know. Maybe if you give us a thumbs up or something that you want us to
Well,
continue
I'm wondering
doing,
if we need to
or
change the time, to be honest,
maybe.
because the 8 o'clock time is difficult because we're up later now. And
Mm.
that's for me, that's just finishing getting, Jane going and coffee time and walk the dog. And so I'm wondering if we should be changing it to a mid-afternoon coffee break time or margarita time.
Margarita. Wine time.
Wine time, and then we'll do wine tasting as well. We'll pick out a new wine. We'll talk about it. No, we can't because we're trying to detox and
Yeah, yeah, we're detoxing right now. No
yep.
wine.
And
Lemon water time.
does basil taste good muddled in vodka? Yeah, maybe. Cucumbers? Sure. Um, oh my goodness. How many gins are on the shelf? Maybe we should take tours of the liquor store at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That would be way more exciting.
We're detoxing, but we're just
We're
dreaming.
taking a health hiatus. We're still going to continue our Dana and Wendy coffee time, but we'll have to slash that out and say uh, something else. Maybe not coffee time. It's
Summer
sangria
version.
time. Sangria time.
Sangria time. Ooh, I like sangria time. Yeah.
Right? And we can try
Getting
different
vegetables
versions.
and wine, or fruit and wine.
I know. Right? I
Always
think
think
that's better. We'll just do it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon instead, and we'll just call it sangria time.
that.
Do you have water? Do you need water?
Yeah, no, I've got strawberries muddled in my lemon water, and I caught a piece.
You choke.
Yeah.
There it is on your obituary. She choked on her strawberry muddle
On
in her
live on
fresh
Facebook.
water online. I wouldn't be able to make it there in time to give you
Yeah, sorry. To get the
Heimlich.
dog to
Heimlich.
step on me or something.
I bought the most beautiful basil yesterday. If
I've
you're
got
looking,
some beautiful basil right now. You're gonna
none of
have
my
to come
basil.
over.
I'll have to come over. Yes. Uh, Food Basics at the Four Corners have the most beautiful pots of basil. They're $5.99, and it's stunning, stunning, stunning. None of my basils come up. My parsley is only this big. My carrots are only this big. I don't know what I did wrong. My radishes were beautiful. I posted them. I'll post them this morning. And James was like, "Oh my gosh, are those?" He almost cried. "Are those from our garden?"
Oh, it's so
And
cute.
that's another thing. He was yelling in the background at me, right? Well, we were on our call last night.
Yeah.
Are these radishes ours? I'm like, and you see me take my thing off. I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. Yes. He's like a child sometimes. As soon as you get busy and you're on a call, then they need to talk to you.
pulling at your mom.
like the cat. At
Yeah.
least the cat's not here. She's
Oh,
settled.
now you
So
said it.
I know I said it. So it's just like, oh my gosh. And I've got to do some planting today and clean my
Yeah, you better get
house.
out there and do it. I posted something yesterday. All this week we're supposed to be like close to, or if not 30s plus.
I know I'm out there and I'm just like, I wanted to text you yesterday because I had just got out of my clinic and I'm in the car and it's beautiful and I'm so sorry because I love the sun and that may fall back at me when I'm 70, but I'm just like
Oh,
I'm in
next
there
year.
next year. Yeah. I'm just like this is deliciously hot weather. It's just like just as long as you're not doing too much because then I unloaded my car and I just about died. But it's so delicious. It's so warm and it's not too humid until that 2 o'clock hour. But I mean, it's just so amazing. And I wish I had a patio. It's just full of old barbecues that we aren't using. And so I
Never
need to
get
make
rid of.
my oasis in the backyard here. We have an oasis at the cottage. We might as well have an oasis here since we spend half the time here. But it's just, and I need a garden to finish, and you need to come by and pick up hostas. So if anybody wants to come by my house today and pick up a hosta, you're more than welcome. It's my pleasure to give it to you for free. So, but I'll be home all day today, and I don't know about tomorrow. So if you want a hosta, come by and grab one.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yes, and yes, we'll decide.
Yeah.
We'll play it by ear. Maybe we'll not come on every day. Maybe we'll fix a time differently that suits our schedule a little bit better and be able to talk about the different things that we're doing because I still have my Touch Your Tatas webinar
Yeah.
on July. Oh my
Yeah. We
gosh.
still want to keep you guys. I mean, we're not going to be stopping working at all. It's just, yeah.
We just didn't know.
Yeah. We didn't know, like I said, and maybe just changing the time might be suitable because, like you said, I still like coming on. I still like, and when I was thinking about, stopping it for a couple months, I was like, oh, but I'm not going to see Dana every day.
Yeah. 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 I know.
But
So the Touch Your Tatas program, the next online seminar about breast health is on July the 15th. So if you got a newsletter, I've sent that then, and it's just an hour and a half seminar about breast health and hormone health. And this week, sending out more information. So if you haven't received any information about Eat Your Way to Hormone Health, then you're not on my subscription list, are
I
you?
was just going to say, yeah, I'll
You're
put
not on my prescription list.
I'll put
Subs-
the link tree to Dana's thing,
yeah,
and you can follow that, and you can get on her newsletter.
Yeah, exactly. And yes, I'm still, if you are looking for some nutritional supplementation, let me know because I've been playing around with a few things. Um, the thyroid health supplement, I'm really excited about actually. Really excited.
You had a podcast lady about
Yeah,
thyroid.
so Monique Doran with Soul Life, and I just love that company name, Soul Life. We had a I didn't upload the podcast. I'm doing that today, but I thought I shared it to my Divine Wellness page. So I'll share it back to my Divine Wellness page. And so she is an incredible practitioner from Southern Ontario, and she's a yogi. She is a yogi. And
My girl.
yes, she's your girl. You would love her. And I hope you have the chance just to listen to the listen to the podcast, and you would have really enjoyed our conversation talking about the importance of iodine and the importance of getting your base mineral again, but it's about base mineral for me lately, even with the black oxygen or even with the selenium product. It's about establishing and repairing that base mineral, right? Same as foundational food with the Juice Plus, right? It's so key. And so I did get my drops in, but I would love to be able to get in their new product, which is more of a tablet form, which is at a higher concentration for the black oxygen. But the selenium and the Re-Kick, I think are going to be a really great product lineup for my clients who we're suspecting some hormones and we're suspecting thyroid issue, right?
Mhm.
And being able to just repair that aspect of things and give more vitality to life. So I'm really super excited about that.
Nice. Nice. Oh,
Because it's like you said, even with your Juice Plus, look at all the energy it's given you. It may be to your demise.
yeah, working 10
Seriously,
hours a day at the
working. Yeah,
computer.
exactly. But really, look at the amount of stamina that you have generated with yourself, just with that core nutrition,
Yeah.
because you're able to work until the evening and still look gorgeous, like just oozing with energy. And it's just amazing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It is. Yeah. I can't, I have nothing bad to say about Juice Plus. I mean, from the company itself, the way they research, which is like the most researched company out
I
there,
never
product out
realized that.
there,
I
to the
never realized that.
cleanliness,
I
the
thought that was incredible.
yeah,
The
the
amount of
cleanliness of the
research and the,
product, to the results, like they speak for themselves. And now that they have the omega in there, it's just kind of encompasses all of the product, things that you need other than the minerals, which can be really helpful through what you were talking about.
mhm,
So
mhm,
yeah,
mhm, mhm. Well,
amazing,
and
amazing stuff.
it is amazing, and nothing is, nothing is for certain, and some things work for some people and some things don't work for people, and that's why you need to be open and understanding and work with a nutritionist to really help you define what's best for you, right?
Mhm.
So,
So I actually have some pretty cool news. It's kind of still, maybe I'm going to jinx myself by saying this, but it's kind of still in the working process, working out the details and stuff. But I will be actually starting up and going out into the community very soon to do my live
hmm
blood analysis. And I am just like, oh, I'm just like I'm a kid in a candy store. I want to get, I'm just looking at I have my microscope in a big suitcase that I carry around all over the place with me. But I am, yeah, I'm excited to really get out there and start giving that live blood and doing the live blood and connecting with people on that one-to-one basis again. And, doing my nutritional consults, which are just
yeah.
so amazing. They're like little miracles in themselves to be able to figure out little, nutrient and vitamin deficiencies. And then, being all able to offer suggestions for that is just yay, yay. I'm just like kind of pumped, but I'm not going to say where or when or at this point, but it is coming. And just like I said, I'm in the kind of working out stages of figuring out, um, who I'm going to go to see and, that kind of stuff. But
hmm
it's going to be coming. It's going to be coming because I know there's been a few of my clients that have been kind of asking me about this and where I am and what I'm doing, but it is coming. Like,
So
so
if you
stay
want
tuned.
to, it's so important. I talk about it all the time, right? It's a really great tool to help you understand what's happening behind the scenes, right? Like
Mhm.
thermography, but you get to, it's so fascinating to look at your blood in a microscope.
Oh
I
yeah,
loved it, and I got to do it again.
yeah,
So, and it's really great as thermography. It's really great to see how you managed COVID and where
uh,
you can pick up the pieces
yes.
and move forward for better health. And I think, Wendy, if you guys are out there and you're thinking live blood would be so cool, get message Wendy, get on a wait list, and she will email you and book you in the day that she is set in her clinic.
Yeah.
Boom.
I'll
So
tell you.
important.
I'll tell you right now, I cannot see the COVID virus in blood. You can't
Right.
see that. But
No.
what I will be seeing will be, how acidic or how well your immune system is working to be able to fight off different viruses and different things that are going to be coming
hmm
in and
hmm
in your, in your space. So always, keep that in mind. I can't see specific things. I can't see specific disease or anything else, just the potential for. So this is something that is very, very helpful. And maybe I'll set things up a little bit with my computer and my microscope, and I'll do a live maybe a little bit later this week and just show you guys
Yeah.
what's
And
going
oh,
on.
I mean, if you wanted to, maybe one of our days, I can come and you or do my blood and you can do that live because
Yeah.
I
Oh, that would be
talk about
cool.
that.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
I'll actually should be posting up some of the pictures, maybe my thermography pictures of what it looks like, and then redo it again because it's um, very helpful in understanding the different challenges, right?
Yes, yeah, for sure. And it's so nice to see that visual. I mean, people know the feeling of being unwell. I mean, if you really listen to your body and you listen to what's going on,
Hmm.
and you just you know that feeling of when you've had too much, or you when you have not had enough sleep, or when
Yeah.
you whatever, or just something's just not right. And that's
Hmm.
a lot a lot of my clients come to me saying something's not right. The doctors can't tell me what it is, and I don't know what it is. So looking at the live blood, doing the thermography, seeing the inside, and really, pinpointing a little bit and getting to that root
Hmm.
cause of things is
Yep.
so cool. So cool. That's why I
So
love what I
cool.
do.
Exactly. So big plug, big plug. I'm going to be in Chelmsford this Friday if
Nice.
anyone wants to be imaged in the morning. And then I'm in Valcarin Monday afternoon or Monday morning if you need to be imaged in a closer location rather than coming into Sudbury. Friday the 10th, I have openings available as well. And then the 13th, Monday the 13th. So, and then once August comes around, we'll have a better schedule as well. And be able to dig in there and just have a fantastic time. So
Nice. Nice. I like how you do that all over the city. I can,
well, it's because for some people coming into Sudbury is a big deal
it is.
and it's just a pain in the butt, or they can just slip away from work for an hour and that hour gets hogged up by travel.
Mhm.
So being able to get into the different cities is fantastic. Having a central location is also fantastic, makes me feel like I have a home. We are in Hamilton. Let me look here. This week we are in Oakville and Georgetown. So if you're out of the city here and you want to, there's still space available. There is some times available in Oakville and in Georgetown. And no, I'm not doing those clinics. I've done my traveling for the week. Um, my husband would not be happy with that. We are in Hamilton and Elmer, and again in Oakville again next week. So
Elmer.
we're kind Elmer, yeah.
I remember Elmer.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
We used to travel down there.
It's a beautiful clinic. That's with Dr. Linda Oswald. So she is incredible right on Highway number 3. So it's really, really nice. And then I'm back and then I'm in Ottawa again the end of the month. From the say like the 20th to the 25th. And so it's a busy, busy day. I know I have people who are looking for Ottawa, so I do have time available on the 25th and 26th. The 24th is booked. It's like booked. So
Of July?
yeah,
The
already.
26th is a Sunday. You work Sundays too?
Yep. When I'm
Okay,
there.
that's
Yep.
good.
My 26th is almost booked as well. So people are looking for it. They're looking to one, do their breast checks, right? It's part of their breast health program, right? And that's it. They
You
just
can't
talk
get
about
into the hospital so much anymore just for minor
well,
stuff.
exactly
So,
for stuff. So as part of their programs or they're over 70 and they're using it as their alternative to the mammogram after 70, it is brilliant, right? So
yeah, for sure. Yay. I'm so excited. I'm just
it's
looking at my
busy.
calendar too for the friends that are watching from Hellberry. I don't know, are you scheduled to go
I
up
haven't
there?
scheduled it yet, no.
Yep. I'm just thinking that I'll probably be going up there mid-July. I have to talk to Rolly at Bridging the Gap Wellness Center and schedule a time to get up there for maybe a day. I got family up there, so I can stay as long as I need to. My
Hmm.
brother-in-law is like, "Your room's ready." I'm like, "Okay, I'll be coming."
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so maybe the weekend of the 17th, something like that, the Friday Saturday, and I'll snag Dana's foot detox, and we'll get everybody back on the track of being healthy again. So we'll see.
Hmm.
No confirmation yet though, but keep your ears open because I will set something up with Rolly for sure.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good time. I think it's nice to get things back underway. It's nice to get things feeling normal again.
Yes, that's the big thing is feeling normal again. It's It won't be quite the same, but we're going to do our best, and not going to let this stop us.
Right.
We're going to protect ourselves. We're going to glove and mask where we need to, and we are going to eat healthy and stay healthy and not worry about it. Because that stress again is one of those big things. That is one of the big depleters of our immune system.
Right.
Doesn't
Exactly.
matter. You can
Exactly.
eat anything you want, but it's the stress. Yeah. And if you don't have that in check, but if get your little checklist and see how you're doing, and then connect with me afterwards and say, Wendy, I did really great, and I'll be so happy for you. Or maybe not so great. And what we can do to fix that for you, for sure.
Absolutely.
But I think we should stop it there for today. What do you think? Is there anything else you want to?
No, I don't think so. I think we went
Oh,
way over what we thought we were going to do.
yeah, I think so
And
too.
we have so much fun just talking. And I think I've convinced you to continue
I think so.
doing the coffee times.
I think I was just sleeping when we were talking earlier.
No, I think you're exhausted. You need to stop. Yeah, take a break.
We'll slow down a little bit or change. I do like the 2 o'clock afternoon
I think we'll
sangria
just,
time, something like
well,
that,
who
maybe.
knows, or 4 o'clock because then
Or
we need to
4
start
o'clock.
preparing supper.
Yeah.
But it's definitely an opportunity and it may change. We may or may not. So just, make sure that you subscribe to our lives,
Yes.
whether it's mine or yours or Wendy. And maybe we should be having a Wendy and Dana Facebook page. I don't know.
Oh goodness, more
It's
work.
what we need. Another Facebook page. Hello. I have four that I'm managing.
Yeah, we've got a handful of between us. Um, if you miss an episode, though, I do have them on my YouTube channel,
Yes, yes,
and
yes. Yeah,
some of them go up into our podcast as well. So I mean, people
yes.
sometimes like to listen,
I've not been diligent with that. So my
and some people like to watch them live. But you can like, I'll put my link tree on there too. If you've missed episodes or you want to catch their binge watch them or whatever one Saturday afternoon, definitely the link is in there in my YouTube channel is just Nutritional Solutions by Wendy. So pretty easy to find. And there's lots of little recipes and different things on there too as well. So all that fun stuff. So
okay.
this was good. All right. Two
Amazing.
thumbs up. All right.
Amazing. Okay,
So,
everyone have a glorious day today. I'm going to go get the dog for a walk before it gets too hot and maybe get some stuff planted and see how that goes.
all right. Have a great day, Dana.
Beautiful. You too, everyone. Thank you, Wendy. You guys have a great day.
Bye.